Good evening. Welcome to the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Well, it continues on. The research and new evidence coming here and there regarding the presidential election of 2020. New information. I don't know about you, but I remember back in the early term, once they decided that Joe Biden was going to win, and then he finally picked African, a lady running mate of color, and they kept pushing him to do that and everything else. But from that time forward, they kept saying, if you notice, they kept saying, it's close, and the polls, it was always close. It's because they were already planning on trying to make it as close as possible in order that they might steal the election. I think we're going to find out that there was some computer shenanigans going on with the Dominion system owned by Hillary Clinton and her foundation. We're going to find a lot of things that have gone wrong. And the Democrats are telling Americans to just accept Joe Biden. Just accept him. Who was determined ahead of everything. He was determined a winner before they did any. One state, and Fox News jumps up and calls him the winner, the president-elect or projected president. You know, it was interesting. They talk about Pennsylvania when President Trump was up several 100,000 votes in the night when the polls closed. And then by morning, he was down to around, over several days, he was down to 42,000. How do you eat away the lead like that? Joe Biden was not that popular. He wasn't even that popular when he was running in the primaries. So how do we get these numbers? There's a lot of fraud, a lot of irregularities going on. They can say what they please. I believe the fix was in, and I said a long time ago. The race was called close in the polls constantly by the liberal news or fake news media. It is what I call a brainwashing. They want you to believe something that really was never true. So President Trump spoke with his presidential political strategist recently, Dick Morris. You can look at him on dickmorris.com. And he made a statement to Newsmax about the fake news. You know that they're saying in the news that President Trump has conceded. President Trump has not conceded. And according to Rudy Giuliani, he's not going to concede but concede until it's very clear the results of that election, because there was too many underhanded things going on. People blocking people from watching the polls. Even the recount right now in Georgia is being blocked from Republican poll watchers. They got 10 poll watchers for hundreds of people counting ballots. 10 poll watchers. And they can't stay at one table. They have to walk from one table to the next and around or whatever. So they can't possibly cover all the tables all at one time or even notice any irregularities even at that time. But to me, it's kind of suspicious when you're constantly trying to limit contact. So the state attorney general of Georgia, he's behind the fix as well. So we hope that things turn out correct. He let it go forward, but I still think that there's something in it. They had hours and hours to fix it. Votes coming in after 4 a.m. and things like this from different states. We need to do something about that. That cannot be just overlooked. So we need to not overlook that. We need to look at that. Okay. So there's optimism, according to what I've read recently. There's optimism over the annual budget that's supposed to come out on December 11th. Many lawmakers are feeling optimistic. Senate is also poised to launch a big hearings against big tech before the Judiciary Committee. So some heads about to roll. So they forget that. There's a lot of heads that are about to roll, and I'm sure they're going to be talking about Hunter Biden eventually. And they're going to be looking into that whole scam and that whole thing that was going on with Biden and his son and his brother. Well, we're going to take a short break right now here on the Black Conservative Voice, and we'll be right back with you in a moment.
Hello, CTM News viewers. We love you and appreciate you. I'm, of course, Raina Rose, host of Soul Nutrition on CTM News. I'm excited to tell you about my new book, Sin Tastes Good, Nourishing Your Soul in an Empty Calorie World, where we explore connection to God, self, and other people around us. Have you ever wanted to deepen your connection with God, deepen your connection with those around you, and deepen your connection with yourself? Well, this is the book for you. We dig into questions about what we want our lives to look like and answers of how to get there. It comes out Thanksgiving 2020, and I can't wait to have you all read Sin Tastes Good along with me. For special updates, please follow my Instagram, which is The Soul Nutritionist, with little underscores underneath the words. And also, if you would like to email me for some exclusive content from this book, my email is raina@raina-rose.com. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. God bless and keep you, and nourish your soul.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Well, some news has come out from the White House. Coronavirus advisor Dr. Scott Atlas urges Michigan residents to rise up against Governor Whitmer's COVID-19 or COVID orders. Recent orders have gone way off to the left in their abilities and their things to try and stop people's freedoms in Michigan. She has started ordering schools. In 3 weeks, schools are going to close. Most schools, high schools, colleges, whatever, she's authorizing those schools to close. This is new orders. And as I said, Dr. Scott is ordering the people there, urging them to object to that, and I'm sure the people are going to object to it anyway. They have suffered a lot in the economy already. So also, along with that, she's closing down all the bars, all the restaurants, and probably the churches as well. Anybody who meets in any close quarters, she's going to start trying to cut out. So when are we going to realize, people, if you got out, you voted Democrat on November 3rd, you asked for it. You asked for this foolishness. So it's in your hands. You made a mistake in putting some of these people back into office. I told you in my earlier programs not to do that. So you're doing it. So now we got new regulations against your freedoms. They're going to start restricting your First Amendment rights, which they already have. If you say anything bad, they try to get, Nancy Pelosi was just talking recently in her press conference, she was trying to get Facebook to block conservative messages. So they want to take away your freedom of speech. I was talking to somebody today who was turning in a gun for sale. And I told him, I said, look, he said, they're going to take away your Second Amendment rights. And the young man, he said, well, let them try. So we're going to have some big problems if Joe Biden get in there and try to take away your guns, because he already said he's going to do it, people. There's statements saying, he already said and early on, I'm going to take your guns. He's coming after your guns. He's coming after your weapons you use to protect your home and protect your family. So, as I said, Governor Whitmer has got a new epidemic order that's going to come into effect in 3 weeks. And she's going to close everything. I mean, I feel sorry for the people of Michigan. They suffer so much, and then they have to deal with such foolishness from a liberal hack of a governor, Governor Whitmer. We need to get her out of there, people. Get her out. I don't know what her election thing's up next time, but you need to get her out of there. If you want to have any of your freedoms, you need to remove her from office. Well, we are facing a lot here in this country, and there's a lot of challenges being brought right now. Lawsuits against the different states and city. And what's interesting, that I noted, and President Trump, his legal team, Sidney, he had to come out and he had to say, look, you see all these lawsuits coming up, but he said there's some of these lawsuits against the elections being a fraud are coming from individual citizens, individual Americans. They're actually filing lawsuits. A lot of people, individuals, are filing lawsuits because they believe that their voting freedom has been violated or has been corrupted. So they're not stupid. They see what's going on. So now you have the citizens rising up as well with lawsuits against the Democrat Party and this namby-pamby election stuff they're trying to do. And once again, on the stimulus package, the Senate is deadlocked once again. So it's like everybody's waiting for results on this or waiting on the results on that. And the Senate is deadlocked once again over this stimulus package. And many believe that nothing's going to happen, and I kind of go along with them. Nothing's going to happen until the election results are solidified. Now, they're claiming they're going to come out with results on Florida and Arizona. Our former President and Vice President Joe Biden has already lost ground there. You know, I think there's something else too. I got to say this, and I don't agree with this, what's going on right now. To me, I believe that Joe Biden should not even be allowed to run for president. He shouldn't be allowed to run for president. Wasn't he in there for 8 years? I think it needs to be a limit also on vice presidencies. If they've been a president or vice president for 8 years, they need to be done away with as well. Not just a president. If they've been in that office for 8 years, they need to go. They don't need to come back. They don't need to have another chance to come in, especially Joe Biden, to ruin our country once again, giving our jobs and everything away. You realize that Joe Biden, he wants to open your borders. He wants to increase the exile, people coming in from different countries. He wants to increase it from 100 or something to 1,000 per year. He will allow 1,000 illegal aliens into the country to take your jobs and everything else. He says he wants to just, any illegal people here illegally, he wants to make it so they all can go out and just take your jobs. Some of you think that this is all, yeah, he should do that. Yeah, of course. You're going to think that if you didn't legally come in this country, but it's not fair to the people in this country, especially those who immigrated from other countries and actually went through the whole process, as you have to do in a lot of countries. America's not the only country that have processes you have to go through on immigration. There are a lot of countries. Most countries have processes you have to go through. I know in England, they have a certain dollar amount you actually have to pay if you want to be a U.S., not a U.S., but a UK English citizen or a British citizen. So it's not free. Some people can't even afford the monies that they ask for your citizenship. Here in America, it's got to be pretty cheap, even though we make it a little difficult. We're not trying to make it easy. We have to take care of our citizens here. This is the problem with Joe Biden and former President Obama. They were not taking care of the citizens here. They were allowing our jobs to be taken away. They were allowing us to be to have our health care destroyed. Coming up with this Affordable Care Act, which pretty much just destroyed private health care. We got to figure out a way to bring private health care back so that you can get better rates if you want better rates. Not force. What did Obama say? I know he regrets it now. You will be able to keep your doctors. Yeah, give me a freaking break. Nobody was ever able to keep their doctors. I'm sure Obama could keep his doctor since he's extremely wealthy. Everybody loses this. They think, oh, this is a black man. He ain't got much. He's just in there trying to do the job. He wanted a brother. No, he isn't one of the brothers. The man is filthy rich. These people hide their money well. Nancy Pelosi also is very wealthy as well. Yet they want to keep a couple $1,000s away for your family and your home. So what do you say about that? This is true. Go ahead and check their net worth if they're allowed to be seen. But they got so many computer things out there that they hide stuff and you never know what you can find out. So we're going to take a short break. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth.
Hello, CTM News viewers. We love you and appreciate you. I'm, of course, Raina Rose, host of Soul Nutrition on CTM News. I'm excited to tell you about my new book, Sin Tastes Good, Nourishing Your Soul in an Empty Calorie World, where we explore connection to God, self, and other people around us. Have you ever wanted to deepen your connection with God, deepen your connection with those around you, and deepen your connection with yourself? Well, this is the book for you. We dig into questions about what we want our lives to look like and answers of how to get there. It comes out Thanksgiving 2020, and I can't wait to have you all read Sin Tastes Good along with me. For special updates, please follow my Instagram, which is The Soul Nutritionist, with little underscores underneath the words. And also, if you would like to email me for some exclusive content from this book, my email is raina@raina-rose.com. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. God bless and keep you, and nourish your soul.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Now, as I said, Georgia's starting to recount, and I believe that I think Arizona is starting to recount as well, or several other states may be doing a recount. Now, Rudy Giuliani says that he has about 8 to 10 states that he is going to request some investigation be done on by the legislature, because the people like the state senate or whoever's the head of the state, the legislature is the one who makes the rules on the election rules, not the states, what do you call them, Supreme Court or the secretary of each state. It's the legislature that makes the decision. Now, a lot of them are in cahoots. You figure you got a Democrat government, Democrat mayor. Of course, they're all in cahoots together. And it's going to be kind of hard. We see in Georgia now, they're still restricting us. You know, you can only have 10 people in here for 3,000 people counting ballots. So they're shifting from table to table just to kind of keep an eye on things. They're not allowed to get close enough really to see the signatures and compare. This is still the same thing. They're still not getting to see it. So to me, Secretary of State there in Georgia, you still are not doing what needs to be done. I know you think that we allowed this and we allowed that. Yeah, you allowed that just to protect yourself, and you're still trying to protect the Democrat Party. Now, this country looks and desires a legitimate election, not elections that are trouble with over counting illegal votes and all these things like that. We get rid of all the illegal votes and find out where the legal votes are, and maybe we can resolve some of these issues. But I see right now that a lot of these people in these different states, the Secretary of States, the legislature, like I told you before, the legislators are responsible for the rules of election in each state. But if they don't step up and say anything, what's going to happen? In Michigan, they're quiet. It's like, well, are you people there? You're the legislator. You legislated the rules for election. What happened to you? So a lot of them are kind of ducking out, and you can't get a hold to them. So a lot of the stuff is going to have to be decided in the court. And I guarantee you it is going to go, if we can't get this thing resolved now, it's going to the Supreme Court, because some heads are going to roll because there was some illegality involved in this presidential election, or even in some of the Senate and congressional election. We're going to find a lot of dirt. And the swamp is still empty, but President Trump needs to dredge that swamp out a little more, because there's a lot more swamp creatures hiding in there, including Mr. Joseph Biden. We keep forgetting that he has been brought up on questions regarding his deal with Ukraine. And he said, just like Clinton did over Monica Lewinsky, oh, I don't know that woman. I didn't do that with her. I didn't touch her. And we find out later he met with the people, went out to dinner with them and everything else. These people he was supposed to have not met. And then your son doesn't tell you about his business dealing? Give me a break. If my son had a business deal or something like that, I am absolutely certain he would tell me something, because he would say, this is going great, Dad. I'm getting $83,000 a month from the Ukraine and several other thousand from China to work with them. So if you think there's nothing going on, you found the weak news or fake news media telling you to just accept Joe Biden. Just accept him. People. And what's interesting in this whole thing in the swing states, the very swing states they're in, Joe Biden has looked to kill the economy. You would be a fool to vote for people in those states for Joe Biden, because he wants to destroy the oil and gas industry. He wants to destroy, which involves fracking and everything else. He wants to destroy your jobs. He wants to give your jobs to illegal aliens coming across the border or whatever borders. He wants to just give America away, as he did for 8 years when he was in office with former President Obama. They don't care about you, people. You know, you'll see it. You know, you might be listening to you and think, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Come on, man. You'll find out. If he is allowed to get into office, you're going to be praying, Lord, get me out of this country, because he's going to make this place look like a communist nation. You got Governor Whitmer trying to lock people down now. Lock them in the house. You can't come out. Once you close down the restaurants that are already open, taking people in. This COVID-19 was set up, regardless of whether it killed some or not, it was set up mainly, the way they handled it was set up to try to keep people in bondage and get them under control of the government, just as much as they did like with Hitler in the German era and several other countries that like socialism and communism. We can't let this happen, people. We can't have people come in and steal our rights, steal our First Amendment rights and our Second Amendment rights. We can't allow them to do it. And as I've said many times, I don't want to see this in our country, but if they keep pushing the envelope, they're going to find out that America was gained by force. And America will continue to be gained by force or regained by force. You saying you think President Trump's a dictator? He may not be a dictator or a king, but keep pushing the envelope. It may happen. This country may be ran by a king. And it might be King Trump. I don't know. I'm just saying I don't think he would do that, but it's a possibility. He is a person that is for the people of this country. He's the best president I've seen in the history of this country, really. Even aside from even Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was a great president. I really respected him. I voted for him, but he also raised taxes too. President Trump has found ways to decrease taxes on our people and increase tariffs on those countries who have used us for years. If you look at the media, you look at things that are going on, there are a lot of countries that are happy that Joe Biden might be the president because they know, once again, they can use America to make them wealthy. Let me tell you, I have some friends in other countries. I'm not going to mention the name of the countries. But I have friends in other countries that say that they're already reporting Joe Biden as a winner, even though we have not had a final tally of votes or a final statement of clarification or confirmation of Joe Biden. They're on TV talking about President Trump is conceded. And this is in other nations, guys, on their TVs. They're saying that President Trump is conceded. Well, I'm here to tell you today, those of you I'm going to share this message with, he has not conceded, nor do he intend to concede, according to his attorney, Rudy Giuliani. And I want you to remember, not all these lawsuits out here are from President Trump. A lot of them are from constituents of these people, maybe even some Democrats. There are Democrats that are actually now suing their states over. There's one lady I know for sure that's suing the state over government fraud. She also did an affidavit for us, showing us and telling us how it was done from beginning to end. It's going to be very interesting to see these statements and these testimonies coming forward. Of course, we're going to know the Democrats are going to say, oh no, it says smoke and mirrors. No, it's not smoke and mirrors. Your impeachment process was smoke and mirrors, because it never came to be true. None of it. It was all lies. Your collusion, Russia collusion. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Black Conservative Voice. My name is David Colbert, here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Once again, I want to say what I like to always say. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the world. Till next time, this is David Colbert saying good night and God bless.